Thus you ought to know in your heart that Yah your Elohim was disciplining you, just as a man disciplines his son. So obey the commands of Yah your Elohim by walking in his ways and fearing him. Those whom I love, I reprove and discipline. Therefore be zealous and repent. However, if you do not listen to me or obey all these commands, and if you break my covenant by rejecting my decrees, treating my regulations with contempt, and refusing to obey my commands, I will punish you. I will bring sudden terrors upon you. My sheep hear my voice, and the stranger they will not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers.
It's a beautiful day that Yah has given us. Hallelujah. We all know that Yah loves us, but many can't understand the ways that our Chief Shepherd loves us. Just as a parent disciplines children, so does Yah discipline us. In several places in the scriptures, Yah had sent an evil spirit to make corrections for his people. Take some time today to research Yah sending these evil spirits and see how the corrections were made. You may remember Yah hardening Pharaoh's heart, and there's a reason why our Elohim does these things. Yah does not change. So let's see how the evil spirit is used today. We have our brother Seed of Yisrael to walk with us today.
All right, Shalom, Yasharel, giving a shout out to all the brews scattered to the four corners and giving all glory and praises to the great I Am.
This is going to be deep, Danielle. So go ahead and get us into it.
I want to go back some years. I'm not going to go back no more than 10 years, not even 10 years. But let's go back in the last 3 years. Have you all noticed, in the last 3 years, have you all noticed the hatred, the increased hatred of our enemies against the true Israelites, whether they be awake or whether they be asleep? And I'm talking about the Negroes scattered to the four corners, but especially here in the US of A. Have y'all noticed an increased hatred? Y'all think this is coincident? Y'all think this is by chance? You think this is just happening all of a sudden? No. The Almighty is putting the spirit on these people on purpose to hate us even more.
You know people are going to ask you, why would you say something like that?
The Most High has been trying to get our attention for so long now, all right? Let's just say within the last 70 years, all right? We don't even have to go past 70 years. That the Almighty has been trying to get our attention. He's been screaming, he's been yelling, throwing, using every way to get our attention. But the more he calls out, the more he puts obstacles in our way, it's like the more stubborn we become. So the Most High is trying to give you a sign. He's trying to show you that you are indeed a set apart people. Now I'm talking about all the Negroes now scattered to the four corners, whether they be asleep or awake. But we already know the end story of this. We know that the majority of our people are so stiff-necked and so stubborn that they can't even hear the voice of the Almighty.
Yeah, our people have closed their eyes and plugged their ears, and this has been happening for a while, since back in biblical days.
And you know what's so crazy, Yasharel? I'm talking this mind-blowing. You know, the only time that our people were truly together, and I'm talking about our forefathers, is when they were in chains and in shackles and getting their backs beat in and getting torn apart by horses and emasculating all kinds of manner of wickedness. It's like they had such a unity. That's sad. That being that, and for us, or for our forefathers, our people, to have to come together under those extreme conditions. And you look at us now. We're not going through none of that stuff. We're not in that type of we are in captivity, but we're not in chains and in shackles. We are in our minds and our hearts. All right. We still have the freedom to get in our cars and go wherever we choose. We have the freedom to start our own businesses, buy a home, buy land, go to school, and to learn any practice that's within reason. We have all these abilities. We're not crying out. We're not going through all that stuff. We're not being torn apart by horses.
And people have the nerve to say that our Jacob's troubles have already happened.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, Yasharal. Our trouble, you know what? These immigrants that are coming over here is the least of our problems. Look, we're gonna see a time of trouble on our people like we've never seen before. All right. And if y'all think this is just fun and games, y'all think this is just, if you think that you're going to electric slide into the kingdom without getting persecuted, you think you're going to just, here comes Ha Mashiah. He's coming to deliver us. We're going to deliver. We're going to be delivered. If y'all think that you're going to just get the kingdom without getting that work, going through something, this generation, our forefathers already went through it, all right, because they were wicked. But we have not been through nothing yet.
I heard someone make a comment saying the cops are shooting down our people.
Let me tell you something. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. You know why? Because the Most High is allowing that to happen. And a lot of these, I hate to say it, but a lot of these are people out there that's doing dirt. They're wicked. They're wicked as hell. So the Most High is allowing them to get shot up.
I guess you're right, because you don't see Yah's chosen who are keeping the commandments getting shot up by the police.
The ones who are being faithful to the Almighty and keeping His commandments with all their heart, mind, soul, and strength, you don't see them being shot down by the police. See, y'all need to go on somewhere with that. Y'all been too comfortable. And what's crazy, our brothers and sisters that scattered to the four corners in these other places like Africa and all these other Asian, all the places, they sitting back laughing at us. They like, man, these Negro Americans don't realize how good they got it. And they sitting back complaining about nothing. You know what? The Most High rejoice at the destruction of wicked niggas. I'm just telling y'all straight up.
That's really deep and on point, Danielle. But can you prove this to us?
I can prove that to you. Bam. Right here, bold in your face. Deuteronomy 28:63. And it shall come to pass that as Yahweh rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land whither you go to possess it. Now, the Most High is nothing to be reckoned with. He's nothing to be played with. And the Almighty is not a play toy where you can just think that you're going to electric slide into the kingdom doing nothing, living the so-called, what they call the American dream, and all of a sudden you're going to just get raptured up. You ain't keeping no laws, you ain't keeping no commandments, you ain't putting no work in. You ain't been through no persecution. You've been barbecuing every day, grilling, eating steaks and beef ribs and all that stuff. Been grilling chicken, been grilling lamb. Go anywhere you want to go. You ain't been through nothing. You all not ready to have your heads chopped off for this testimony. Y'all not ready for that. Y'all think y'all ready for that? You're not ready to lose your kids, because if they come and tell you that, hey, if you continue to keep these laws, commandments, and statutes, we're going to take your kids. Y'all not ready for that.
What do you think will happen if the government came right now and told us they would take our children if we continue to call ourselves the chosen and we continue to keep the commandments.
I guaranteed you 90% of you all would become a heathen overnight. And you know what? Most of our people might as well just be heathens, because our people hate the Most High's laws, commandments, and statutes more than the heathens. Go figure. And our people sitting up here talking about deliverance without no obedience to the Most High's laws, commandments, and statutes. What a damn shame. I think we ready, Israel? You think we ready for that? You think our people are really ready to die for this truth? And y'all talking about Jacob's trouble has already passed?
Well, please tell us what we're about to go through.
Now, let me show you what the word says, what we're going to have to go through. Because if our fellow brethren, if our forefathers gone through hell, what makes you think that we're not? What makes you think that we're going to get the electric slide and get no persecution? We're going to have to get it too. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 11. And it says, "And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled." Y'all hear that? Fulfilled. That means that our forefathers that are sleeping, that had to go through all this hell, we're going to get that same work. Maybe not in the same exact manner, but we're going to get that persecution work. See, being in America has really spoiled our people. I'm telling you, it really has. It really has spoiled our people. It's made our people to think lethargically. And it's like you can, and you know, Christianity is a part of that too, because you can do anything and still make the kingdom. It don't matter. You're going to live comfortably on this earth and you're not going to have to go through nothing. And then all of a sudden you're going to just get delivered. Voila. You're going to be eating honey and drinking milk. It don't work like that, Israel. And for every generation of our people that caught hell, y'all remember what was said. All right. Remember what was said with Mashiach before they put Mashiach to death. What was said? Y'all remember what was said? The evil, wicked father said, "Let his blood be on us and our children." Oh, y'all missed that part, didn't y'all? And I guarantee you they're going to regret that, because each generation from that time is feeling the wrath. And the Most High is going to make sure every generation gets their time of trouble. They don't understand. The time of trouble is just not a sequence, but the time of trouble is something that each of our generations of forefathers had to go through. All right. Guess what? We're going to have to go through our time of trouble. And I'm going to tell you something. It has not begun yet. We ain't even began to scratch the surface of our time of trouble, because again, you all are so comfortable where you at. You can do anything. You still can create. You can go out and about and you can pretty much do anything. That's within legal means. Y'all know what I'm saying? So this BS stuff talking about, oh, we going through this stuff, our people are getting shot down by the police. Come on, really? You really gonna bring that?
Well, I also heard someone say that COVID was our time of trouble.
Man, y'all really trust the government like that? I mean, come on now. And you got these false, wicked brethren. You got these false, wicked brethren that keep setting these timestamps of this so-called second Exodus. You know, I'm hearing so much crazy stuff. You know, at first it was 2019.
Then it was March of 24. And that has come and gone.
Now, someone sent me something that people are saying now. You got these wicked brothers that are saying that it's going to be in the year 2030. See, you know, our people they're so wicked. They backpedal. The word says no one knows the time and hour. And you notice what's interesting is that these wicked brothers never, ever talk about keeping the laws. They never talk about working out your salvation with fear and trembling. And see, that's what you got to worry about, Yasharel. That is the main focus right there. Y'all sitting worried about deliverance. You better worry about learning how to keep these commandments. You better worry about learning how to work out your salvation with fear and trembling, because your life can end in an instant. All right. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be faithful unto death. Whenever that is, whenever your time clock stops, that's only for the Most High to decide. All right. And everybody's time clock is going to stop. Some of you may get up in age where you just fall asleep peacefully. I pray that can be me if the Most High's will, you know. As long as I got breath in me, I'm going to keep on doing this work. You know, some of us are going to die by other means. You know, so I'm going to die of disease. I'm going to die maybe of an accident or something, you know. But regardless, you have to be faithful unto death. Be faithful unto the grave. All right. I want to throw that out there. Now we're going to really get back to the subject at hand, which we're pretty much on the subject, but we're going to talk about why the Most High is putting the Spirit on our enemies to hate us even more. Because if you notice, the hatred has really, really, really grown deep. I'm talking about deep. There's a reason behind that. But let's just go back. Let's go back to the early 1900s, because I want to share something with you. Now let's look back when we were really together as a people. Now, when you look back on Black Wall Street, now Tulsa, Oklahoma was not the only place where we had a Black Wall Street. All through the Midwest, and I'm talking all through the Midwest, even on the East, you know, you had, even in Florida, you had Rosewood. You know, you had a Black Wall Street in Omaha, Nebraska, Missouri, you know, all these central states, we had a Black Wall Street. And a lot of them don't get the credit that they deserve. But the point that I'm bringing this up is because we were so proud as a people. And I mean, you got to understand, this was shortly after the chains came off. All right. This was in the early 1900s. You're talking about a resilient people. We've never seen anything like this today on the level that our forefathers had did back in the early 1900s. I mean, they were together. The marriage rate was probably damn nearly at 100%. It was probably nearly at 100%. And matter of fact, we were doing better than our enemies. Can you believe that? We were doing better than our enemies. Now, this is the kind of separation that Malcolm X was talking about. This is what Malcolm X was talking about for so many years. Building your own, having your own. All right. And so our people flourish during this time, and especially just coming a short time out of the chains and shackles. I mean, we were there, even though, I mean, our people were caught up in Christianity, you know, but our people were together. And there were so many, matter of fact, there were so many Black owned businesses back then. You couldn't even count them. That's just how many. And I'm talking about this across the nation. All right. We're talking about all these places that were so-called Black Wall Street. So when our people were really together like this, they didn't want anything from the heathens. They desired nothing from the heathens. They didn't want to live with the heathens. They didn't want to live with them. They didn't want to associate with them. They just wanted to be a part, and they wanted to create their own community. Well, we all know the end result of that. And even after the so-called Black Wall Street in Tulsa got bombed, they rebuilt back in the 30s. But see, they don't tell you this. They don't tell you this in your schools. And we all know what happened at the very end. Then someone came up with a bright idea. You know what they came up with? You really want to know? You guessed it. Integration was the nail in the coffin for our people, and everything else abominable would follow in record speed that would send us spiraling so far and so fast backwards that it would even make our heads spin. And you know what's so crazy is that the majority of our people did not want this. They wanted to follow the ways of Malcolm X. Keep it separate. Keep it separate, just like it was in the early 1900s when our people had all of these Black Wall Streets. Majority of our people did not want this. This was something that the white liberals planned way ahead of time, and they got up these little puppet black leaders to go along with it so that they can deceive everyone, because the white liberals knew how powerful we were becoming as a people in the early 1900s, because we were a very competitive people. You know, the wealth gap wasn't that far off between the early Negroes in the early 1900s and the whites. It wasn't a really huge gap like it is now, because we were a threat. We were a competitive threat. So they had to come up with a plan to demonize our people. And I'm going to tell you, it worked. It worked like a genius plan, because what followed, and we can be here all day, but just in a nutshell, what followed, of course, many of our people started blending in during the civil rights. They started blending in later on. They stayed separate for a little bit. Then the schools merged together, then a lot of our people just went ahead and decided to sell off their businesses. A lot of the whites bought off the businesses, offered them money. Our people fell for the rope-a-dope, and everything else followed after that. And I bring up that point just to say that how far we have gone backwards. All right, how far we've gone backwards. We're not a threat to these people. We're not a threat to our enemies anymore. We're not, because we are so far divided amongst ourselves. Now, the Most High just delayed things a little longer, and that's why the Most High allowed our people to gain the foothold as they did, preserve, and it's going to happen. It is what it is, Yasharal. It is what it is. And the Most High has everything lined out from the time that we came out of the shackles to the time that we're going to have to go through persecution in our generation, maybe the next generation. Who knows? All right, because we don't know the time and hour. And we see all this stuff that's happening around us. It's a shift. The scripture speaks of wars and rumors of wars. Wars and rumors of wars have been going on for a very long time, for thousands of years. All right. Nothing's changed. There's nothing new under the sun. Yes, America is going to fall. It's not going to be no different from any other nation that falls. Once it falls, it goes through a shift change. And that's what's happening right now. It's going through a shift change. And the powers that be are shifting. So-called U.S. of A, I truly believe it's no longer a superpower. It may pose and seem like a superpower on paper, but that's it. That's it. We're no longer a superpower. We're no longer a threat to these other countries, especially to Russia and China. And as far as our people, we've gone so far backwards. We're so far at the bottom as a people because we're divided. We're not coming together, Israel. No one. You would think people like Oprah and these other, Jordan and Perry and all these other so-called black billionaires, you would think they would come together and build a Black Wall Street. But come on, they're paid puppets. They were designed to make sure that the status quo stays the same and is gotten worse. And so when we say that the Most High is putting the spirit on these people to hate us even more, it's happening, Israel, because again, the Most High is trying to show you all that we have to literally wake up, and we're going to see the Most High is forcing our people to come together. You see how the Most High works? He is, whether we like it or not, the Most High is forcing our people to wake up and to see what's really going on. Even though these, our brothers are not coming into this truth, they're not seeing that, but they are seeing the wickedness. They are seeing the evil of this hatred that they have for us, because the scripture said that we will be hated amongst all nations. But yet our people keep dragging behind them. They keep trying to blend in, and the Most High is showing you, he is showing you through the heathens that they do not like you. But our people don't get it. Our people don't. It's just like they're just brainwashed. It's like they love the smell of the heathens behind so much that they can't even differentiate between evil and good.
Some of the older sheep here can remember how we were as a people growing up as compared to now. We've been going backwards ever since, and their hatred has grown for us.
And not only has the hatred of them has grown for us, but the hatred for ourselves have also grown. Y'all know that? You look at you look how divided our people are. Look, I'm gonna tell you how we're destroying ourselves. We're destroying ourselves, for one, because of disperse of our seed with other nations. Our people are killing one another in the streets. Y'all talking about the cops shooting down our people. Our people shoot down our other brothers and sisters more than the cops do. And y'all sitting here complaining about the cops just shooting our people down. Our people are killing one another at an alarming rate. At an alarming rate. You don't see nobody in the communities trying to put an end to that. You don't see the government in the communities trying to put a stop to that. As a matter of fact, it's encouraged. It's encouraged through this gangster rap. It's encouraged through all this popularity to keep our people in derision, to keep our people in a state of wickedness, and to keep us in a state of diabolical filth. And yet we're sucking it up. We're loving it like gravy on rice. Our people gravitate towards all this gangster stuff. Y'all know they do, Israel. Y'all know our people gravitate towards wickedness. You cannot sit there and tell me that we are so far at the bottom of the barrel right now. You cannot tell me otherwise. Compared to what we had accomplished in the early 1900s.
Well, Daniel, some may say that we do have some black-owned businesses out there.
Yeah, sure, you got some black businesses out there. You got some mom and pop store. But show me a so-called Black Wall Street.
Brother, it's going to take some time to search that out.
You ain't going to find it. Show me where our people are so together, where they're coming together and grows. Even in this so-called awakening, all right, our people are divided. Our people are divided on the calendar. Our people are divided on the doctrines. Our people are divided on everything. We're not together, Yasharel. We're not together. And this is why we're going to go through our time of Jacob's trouble, and it's going to be crazy hell. See, y'all think this is a game. Y'all think this is all just something that y'all think that this is going to just be a walk in the park. And for you elderly brothers and sisters, my heart goes out to you. But many of our seniors are going to have to be put to sleep. They're going to have to be put to sleep because the Most High is not going to allow them to have to go through all that pain. And maybe that's a good thing because, you don't want to wish to have to go through what we're about to go through unless you don't really know until the rubber meets the road. So the only thing you can do is just pray and ask the Most High, to give you strength when that time's come, to have mercy upon your soul. Because we're going to have to endure some crazy stuff. We got to get that work, Israel. We got to get that work. And we are going to go through persecution just like our forefathers did. This is nothing new. It happened before. There's going to come a time where you're going to be threatened with death because you're trying to keep the laws of the Almighty. They don't want that. I can prove that to you. That's going to happen again.
Prove it from the scriptures, seed of Israel.
So let's go to 2 Maccabees chapter 6. And I'm going to start with verse 6 because I'm going to show you during that time they could not keep the laws of the Almighty. Now here we are in America. There's nothing holding us back, at least for right now. The only thing that's holding us back from keeping the commandments is yourself. All right, let's read verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Shabbat days or ancient feast or to profess himself at all to be a Yehudi. That means an Israelite. Man, they couldn't even profess to be an Israelite. That's crazy, y'all. And they could not keep the laws. That's crazy. Verse 7. And in the day of the king's birth every month, they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Yehudians were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus, carrying ivy. You know, it was, and our people, and y'all see, we complain about nothing. And like, you look at us now, yeah, we can keep these laws, commandments, and statutes, but it's going to come a time, there's nothing new under the sun. Now, when it gets to the point where they telling us now, hey, we're going to chop your heads off, because it's going to get to that point. It may not seem like it right now. It may not seem like it. That's an impossibility because of all the freedoms we have. Y'all may be thinking in the back of your minds, like, hey, there's no way that we're going to go to that. Nobody's going to come and put us in jail because we are the true Israelites. Nobody's going to do anything to us. Y'all going to be heavily deceived. Y'all going to be in for one rude awakening. These folks know that we're waking up. They know we are the true Israelites. They know that we are the true bloodline. They know that we are the true Yehudians of the ancients. All right, even though we don't act like it because we hate the Most High's laws, commandments, and statutes.
Brother, I agree with you. We've gone really far off the path of Yah. This has been a really good, necessary lesson. A lot was said. So in closing, please explain what you are telling us, Brother Daniel.
So what I'm telling you, Yasharel, is that the Most High is preparing us to separate ourselves from them in any way we can, because I told you the hatred of them is growing immensely. It is growing like a weed. It is not going to stop. The Most High is trying to get our people's attention, but they won't listen. They think that our enemies, they think that these people still love them, embrace them. No, they don't. No, they don't. You need to get that in your heads. And unfortunately, many of our people are not going to wake up. And again, this is why we're getting ready to go through our time of Jacob's trouble like never before. Don't think you're getting in easy. Don't think you're going to be able to electric slide into the kingdom, into deliverance. It's not going to happen. And I told you before, Yashua, a storm is coming like we've never seen before. And it's going to be such a genocide amongst our people like we've never seen before. But it has to happen. It just has to happen. It is what it is. All I can tell you is be faithful unto death.
And now we ask you to leave us with a word of advice, please.
Work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Keep these laws, commandments, and statutes to the best with all your mind. I will say with all your mind, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. While we can keep them in the land of our enemies, because there's nothing holding you back. I just read to you that during the Greeks, there was a law that was put in place where our people couldn't even call themselves Israelites, Yehudians. They was forced to celebrate those feast days and those idols. And here y'all are complaining about nothing. Better wake up, Yasharel.
Brother, as always, you make it plain and easy to understand, and you never bite your tongue. We love having you here and look forward to another lesson soon. We pray that your feet remain in the path that Yah has paved for you. You know we're going to ask you to close with your favorite verse.
I'll leave you with Revelation 14:12.
Actually, brother, I want to read your favorite verse this time. Here is the endurance of the set apart ones. Here are those guarding the commands of Elohim and the belief of Ha Mashiah. Toda Rabba, brother.
And I say shalom and stay strong.
Shalom, Daniel. And to all those who made it here today, I pray for complete nourishment on this spiritual food of Yah. Let this be an introductory to the knowledge and wisdom that Yah wants us to gain from it. There'll be helpful links in the description box below. Feel free to leave a positive comment to help lift another sheep in need. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. The next time we wonder why Yah must send an evil spirit to discipline the sheep, just remember, Yah says,
I am Yah your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, so you would no longer be their slaves. I broke the yoke of slavery from your neck so you can walk upright.
Shalom, and stay strong.